This is going to be my second look at CCS Toys Mortal Mind Alteisen from Super Robot Wars, and I'm going to go through the various gimmicks. I have removed the arms. They attach one there. I think it shows it. I think I have it in reverse, but I don't think it really matters. So first of all, these are really, really high quality. It's just a lot of metal, a lot of weight, a lot of plastic, but very heavy plastic. So these would slide in to these stems here. I don't think they are the best, although maybe I'm just not sliding them in far enough. So this one here, so we got a gun. Gun is obviously non-working. Okay, and then this moves up. And it shows in the instructions, it says button, push something. I don't know what it's telling you to push, but that one, so this one doesn't do much, but it does that. Okay. And then we have this one, which is quite elaborate. So it's supposed to look like a gun. And now I will say this. So this figure cost me probably about $320, and I'm seeing it for more like $380 to $400 online right now. So that's a lot of money, but for what you get, it's almost surprising that it's only as much as it is. However, there are some, I would say, engineering weaknesses in this. It is not perfection. And I kind of, I mean, if you wanted something like that, it would probably be more like 1,000 or 2,000 for that. So this is plastic, which is fine. And the idea is it pushes in, and it was work. See, it's supposed to go in and stay, and then you push this button and it pops out. So the way it's attaching in there is not working quite perfect. So what you can do is you pull back on this button here, and then this pops out. And you can load the bullets in here, and these bullets are metal. So there are 6, I only put 3 in. And that's how you pop them out. And then you can pull that back and then put that back in there. And so the chamber should, so again, it's, now, okay, so, see, it's just not staying. Yeah, so not perfect, but pretty cool. Again, it's got some nice weight to it. This part is metal. I think everything else, this might be metal. This is metal. But all the rest of it, I think, is plastic. And then we have fully articulated fingers in here. This one also has a gimmick with it so that you can have it. I have not seen this robot in action in the video game. Well, now it's staying. Okay. And then you could put actually another one on for additional blast. Mine seems to be a little bit deformed. This one spike on here is curved, so I think that's a manufacturing defect, but no big deal. So he would come with the arm. I could put him on, make him look fully like himself. All in the, there we go. All right. So that's the robot all fully put together. Now I had to put a lot of the pieces on here. This piece here, I had to put on, and I don't know if it's being held on or it's supposed to be held on by magnets or if I'm doing something wrong. The attachment here is very weak. Very weak. It can just fall off. I suspect it's supposed to be magnets. If you don't move the figure, it's probably fine. I put these two pieces on the side here, these hip pieces. And I do have him on the stand, and I think I'm going to display him on the stand, although I had some issues with this. Let me step back for one moment. When I weighed this figure, my previous heaviest figure, now I do have like a 2-foot Great General of Darkness that's, I don't know, like 70 pounds or something. But previously, the biggest figure, which is one I received, I think, this year, was the Blitzway Mazenkaiser, which weighed in at 3 pounds, 8.3 ounces. This one, without some of these pieces on here, was over 4 pounds, 6 ounces. So this is now, and I considered that Mazenkaiser to be a absolute beast. This one just dominates now as the most beastly figure. So I think that I am going to go with the stand, but the weird thing is, so all my other CCS toys figures, the stands had the figure in the air. This one can do it 2 different ways. Now, this piece here, the stand here, it shows it in the instructions as being that you can raise it. And then this piece here will kind of slide down further. So it's not all the way in at all. It probably would go to here. And I could not move this. I couldn't figure out how to move this back so that it angled it up more. So right now, the way I have him, he's standing right on top of his name. So you can't see the name because of where he is on there. So maybe somebody else has some ideas. If anyone else is getting this figure. I had to attach, I'll show you some other things. The horn in here. So that is definitely a piece that if the figure were to topple forward, yeah, that it's going to break. It would definitely break. This is obviously not a figure for a child. This will open up here. Okay. And then you could push the button here. Oh. Okay, what just fell off? Oh, his horn. I guess, well, not his horn, but one of his ear things. So I think that's fine. I think it'll just snap back in. I may have to do the rest of my video with it unattached. Oh well. And then what you can do with this here is put, okay, it's not showing it because this thing is so massive. This stays on with the magnets, and it's supposed to show the rockets exploding up. So you could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different rockets in here. And so it's got a whole pile of these rockets that you can put in here. They're very snug fit. I'm not going to use this gimmick, so I always get concerned with these kind of spring actions, because if the spring ever breaks, then it might remain open. But so yeah, you can have the rockets launching. Okay, and then I had to put on a couple other pieces. This piece here, this attached nice and firmly, and then this piece here. So let me remove him from the stand. So this is just, it is a beast, but it is a gorgeous figure. The articulation is the engineering is pretty amazing, but it's so heavy that it's hard to see this piece here. Like I said, the attachment is so flimsy on it that it just falls off at the slightest provocation. But it's really hard to manipulate the figure, just because we got metal joints and an incredibly heavy figure. So it's darn near impossible to show the articulation. Everything in here, all the joints are metal. So it's got the stiffness of metal joints And I worry about this one too because, okay, so I'm going to close this up because this is the kind of figure where, if you're sitting there manipulating it, you could rub some plastic against plastic or metal against plastic and cause some scuffing. So it is nice figure. Looks great on a shelf, but it is definitely a beast of a figure. So I probably will do a third video on this and show a little bit more, but this is the Gimmicks for CCS Toys Mortal Mind Alteisen.